All right, guys. I hope you guys are ready. Hold on to your butts. Absolute freaking pandemonium is going to be happening here any day now. Plus a little word of caution about the brand new 2025 coin rolls that are anticipated to drop here in the next seven to 10 days, give or take. I wanted to take some time to talk about just the overall ramifications of these roles and how generally the first ones that pop up sell for a lot of money. But there are things going on that are kind of like changing the way that we approach these, even ahead of their release, and that's doing pre-sales. Ladies and gents, we have pre-sales on 2025 coinage, and these coins have not hit. They have not hit the streets yet. I want to make that 100% clear. There have been no definitive 2025 dated coins that have yet to drop into circulation. So I want to let you guys know that. So, we did this last year. And again, I think people are doubling down on what I kind of see as being an underproduced year, because we have the semi-quincentennial event next year, and you gotta know that the Mint and the Federal Reserve, they are going to be minting the bejesus out of 2026 coins, because it's a big deal. It's the 250th anniversary event coin. And like they did 50 years ago in 1975, they didn't make a quarter, half dollar, and dollar coin, the Ike dollar, in lieu of just really concentrating on making sure the 1976 bicentennial quarters go off without a hitch, and the half dollars and the dollars. So that entire program, they eliminated not even making any coin whatsoever for those three denominations in 1975. It took the efforts of a gentleman by the name of Daniel Carr to reimagine what a 1975 Washington quarter looked like. So he did a few overstrikes a while ago. Kind of interesting. Neat little trinkets for sure. There are pre-sales going on eBay right now. eBay, they've said on a few occasions that they intend on cracking down on pre-sales. And the big reason why is that a lot of the sellers that are doing pre-sales can't fulfill their obligation of getting these things out within 30 days. I think that's the window in the terms of service for pre-sales, is you got to be able to deliver on that product within 30 days. So, I mean, given the time of year right now, we are 8 days in January, and I don't think this is going to be a problem. But it used to be, if you went back, say 5 years ago, somewhere around there, folks did not list the brand new coins for that year up until they were made available. Something that you had tangible, you had concrete evidence that particular coin is in your possession. But we're looking here, folks. People are kind of like, they're reading that crystal ball and like, yeah, coins are going to be underproduced this year. So there are a few dealers. I'm not going to say they're unscrupulous. They're going to do what they want to do. Me personally, it goes against kind of like, just overall sound reasoning of why I would do something like this. It's just not my vibe, to those people that want to do it, fine, just go ahead and do that. 2 rolls, 2025D Lincoln Shield sets, $37 shipped. Holy crap, that's expensive. Now we expect, the first coins to be expensive anyways, but are they really worth $18 a roll? That's kind of the big question. Here's another one right here. Apparently this guy right here is selling pre-selling 2025D rolls. Here's a lot of 5 for $75. That's $15 a roll. Here's another one here. This one is a P&D. And you can tell it's the same seller. They have that letter P there on their image, and then they also have, the wooden table that they're taking a picture of. Now, they're getting around the whole deal of like, oh, well, look, he's got physical rolls right there. He must have the 2025s. No, he doesn't show you the roll, the end of the rolls, I could very easily click into one of these and just show you that he is just simply showing you guys a generic roll without any concrete proof that they are 2025. All right. So this is a P&D roll for $40. I mean, if the Denver rolls were at $15 a piece, $25 a roll for Philadelphia's is out there. And then people are also selling individual coins. A P&D 2025 2-coin set for $3. I mean, if you do the math in your head, it's like this is kind of like a cash grab. And then this person had sold 77 lots of these. So if you took 77 times it by 3, first of all, 77 is one full roll and then about just over half of another roll, both P and D. So as you can see right there, this person stands to make, let's see, $160 somewhere around there. Maybe no. It's more than that. It's more like $225, somewhere around there. All for selling a roll and a half, and that's what he did. Look at that, 77 sold, 77 times $3, and then you just back away some of the fees. And dudes and dudettes, it seems like he's selling it for cheap. There's kind of like a value when it comes to like $3 for free shipping. But I'm telling you, this person right here, he even says budget buy. This person right here is making money hand over fist off of the pre-sales of coins. Guess what? As of right now, he's the only person doing it. That's the crazy part. And then one singular roll, 2025p, $18.95. All right. So his mathing is a little bit funny in this one because he had the 2 rolls for $40. And we've established that a single roll, I guess, is $18 for the Denver, and then he had the P-Mint roll for $18.95. So not exactly $25. All right. So and then there are a few, just a couple odds and ends, but there isn't a whole lot of them. But I can tell you this right now, that seller right there, before it's like he's selling these things while you guys are asleep. And the coins don't even freaking exist yet, but he's selling them as pre-sales. I hate to let the cat out of the bag because I'm sure there's going to be more copycats. They're going to be doing the same thing that he is. And that's probably ultimately going to kill the whole pre-sale thing is when you went from one guy selling a couple different versions of the upcoming coins in roll and single coin fashion, that the next person that comes in, they're going to be doing the same thing, and then the next person that comes in. So it's going to be a little bit of a feeding frenzy. All right. Now, the question is going to be, is it too late to get up and put pre-sales on? I would say it's getting close to that time. Like if any one of my viewers were going to go out and put pre-sales up, it's probably too late at this point. This person right here probably put his pre-sale lots up about 30 days ago, because you have to fall in line with the 30-day TOS eBay rule when it comes to pre-sale sales. So again, there's a lot of strategicness that went about this. Obviously, probably the best time to do this would be right during Christmas holiday week. If I were going to go out and do that, that's how I would do it. So yeah, I mean, the coins, ladies and gentlemen, are not out in circulation. Okay, Nichols, the same person, also taking advantage here. The P&D coins, one of each, for $15. How much profit are we talking about here? And I think this individual, might Mr. Pete, probably had heard the little birdie that the production is going to be in the basement on this one. It's highly probable that it's going to be the case. And we're all attributing it to the 250th anniversary program that might be doing some things, kind of doing the tug and pull effect to the market of this year's coins. If we did not have a 250th anniversary thing next year, then it's going to be more highly speculative. It's already speculative as it sits, but take the speculation, times it by 50, and that's kind of what we're playing at here in 2025 on the upcoming coins. Now, what we did see in 2024 is unprecedented sales and unprecedented mintages on the 2024 Jefferson nickels, both the P and D. Although there has been a rumor that the mint did produce more Philadelphia Jefferson nickels to the tune of about 20 million more pieces. Now, I haven't seen any updated production figures on that, but there's been a few people that have said, based off of some information, through like the Fed Reserve and things like that, that is the case, that they did produce more nickels, but they were all Philadelphia. All the while, the low mintage one, the Denvers, they didn't produce any more. So, the 2024 Denver Jefferson nickel becomes kind of like the low watermark or high watermark, however you want to kind of like illustrate it for folks, as being the rarest nickel over the course of the last like 50 plus years. You'd have to go all the way back to 1958 for a coin that has less mintage than a 2024 D. All right, so that's kind of a big deal there. But it also kind of like you take all that, what happened last year, and then you turn it over to 2025, and I just don't see how they're going to change any of it if they're going to be concentrating on what is going to be happening here in about 12 months. So, I don't know. Again, at this point, all that information is highly speculative. Me personally, I wouldn't take it at face value, no pun intended. Of course, none of this is financial advice anyways. I'm just kind of giving my take because I'm paralleling this to the bicentennial event back in 1975 and what they did. What they can do that could be similar to A, save money, and also B, gear up and just be ultra prepared for the newly designed Roosevelt dime and all the other things for 2026. Again, this is a big deal. They're putting all their eggs in one basket. So, obviously they had to take some eggs out of other baskets. That other basket is 2024 and possibly 2025. All right, so that's kind of like what we're seeing here. And you're already seeing it on pre-sales. Who in their right mind would spend $7 on one Jefferson nickel? That's kind of crazy. But there are some listings on here with probably some confirmed sales of the 2025 P&D nickels. All right, so something definitely to keep an eye out here on this one. It's just going to be an interesting year. And we'll kind of chronicle all this as we go on through the winter, because the first American Women Washington Quarter doesn't come out until the first week of February, which generally that means the actual release of that circulating coin won't come out until about a day or two in proximity to the release of the program on the U.S. Mint, which I believe is February 4th. Okay, if I'm wrong, you guys can correct me. But it is indeed the first week of February. All right, so we can attest that the quarter won't come out until February. We don't have to worry about it here in the month of January. What we do have to worry about is being able to be one of the first people to gain access to the first roll, to the first bank box, of Lincoln cent, Jefferson nickel, and the dimes, because they all generally drop here in the month of January. And that's really important, especially for a lot of you that like to cherry pick, that like to resell, because what we do know is the first ever box of Lincoln cents, they usually go for $300 to $500. That's kind of like a foregone conclusion. It's like that every year. I'm not blowing smoke up your guys' ass. You can go back and look at old archived sales data, and that'll indicate that that is simply the case. That has been the narrative each and every single year for the first full sealed bank box of that year's coinage. Mostly the Lincoln cent, because at $25 face value and the $300, $400, $500 that it sells for, it represents the biggest the biggest in relation to face value increase over that, you know. So yeah, it's never a dull moment in the coin hobby, especially going into the new year. Some would say, well, the month of January is boring, and you know, I'm like, no, the month of December is boring, especially the latter 2 weeks of the month. Everybody's always waiting for January. You have the Florida Fun Show, which always kicks off the year, and it's always a beast mode level kind of national show. And then you have all of these new programs. The new Silver Eagles come out. They're in, you know, everything else. And it's actually one of the more exciting months in the hobby. If you're going to get into the hobby today of coins and the business, January is definitely the way to go. It's actually a very refreshing time to do it in, is January. You have the whole year to plan out the rest of it. All right, we're going to look at Roosevelt dimes. A couple pre-sales here as well. Dimes typically are a very lackluster thing. But we might be seeing something different here. We might see a little bit lower mintage on the 2025s and more desirability because they're redesigning the dime for the 2026 event. All right. So there's been a little bit more push for the little double nickel coins that we all love to hate. Not my personal favorite. And, you know, they're there out of necessity sometimes, you know, but not all the time. So, yeah, those are out there, and they're not going to command nearly as much money for full individual pieces and rolls and bank boxes. You could probably have a full bank box muster about $100 in profit. They're not incredibly tantalizing. But if you went to the bank and you were trying to headhunt Lincoln cents and nickels, and your bank teller said, oops, all we have is a brand new box of 2025 dimes, I would probably take a flyer on it. But let's say a month later, 2 months later on down the road, when it's February, March, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole unless you absolutely need dimes for your business. All right. So yeah, that's the only way that I would personally divert my attention away from dimes, is that they don't have the secondary market punch. And, you know, you wouldn't really have to worry about doing all that work to sell a full bankroll of 2025 dimes for $7. You know, you have to ship it and all that stuff. You'll profit about 40 cents. And then, you know, you'll just say, oh, well, that sucks. I don't want to ever do that again. The real money is on Lincoln cents and nickels. And I feel like there's new kind of like innovative ways that you could market and sell those, aside from the pre-sales. Because once we see actual physical product hit the streets, people are selling them in lots of 10, they're selling them in rolls, they're selling them in quantity. You know, they're selling 5 rolls at a time. They're doing other fun things as well. And, you know, why do people spend so much money on these rolls? We're going to kind of end things off on this thought. You know, there's a couple different rationale. Number one is the hunt for something new, right? People have a tendency to want to, you know, cherry pick through the new coins to look for that first die variety, that first doubled die, that first ... that they can find in the coins. Lincoln cents has always been that like go-to resource for something neat. Same with mint errors, that first strike through, that stupid, ridiculous extra V, or the cod, we're looking for fish, by the way. Yeah, we're not looking for anything fishy on our coins. We are just really looking, to start off the year on the right foot and making a little bit of money, right? Because that's what we all love to do, is to kind of help recover from what we did, during the holidays, all of our transgressions about buying gifts and then be feeling guilty about spending way too much money on it, especially when it's going to someone that's not in the family, then you'll feel ultra bad about it. But in any event, it's going to be the hunt for something new. The first registry set coins, people going through many, many, many rolls of them to look for the best examples to send off to PCGS or NGC, in the hopes of getting a top pop grade, because usually those first coins at the top level, they're about $1,000 plus coins. Okay, kind of a big deal, that people will overlook the fact that they just paid $10 for a full BU roll of 2025 Lincoln cents, when they could go through them and find possibly one or two coins that could make them $1,000. So that's another thing. And there was actually one third thing, okay, that a lot of people, this escapes their mind. It's simply sealed equity. Sealed equity. Just hawking away, sealed bankrolls of coins, because they all appreciate in value. It's kind of like the low and slow method of kind of like a retirement plan if you're on a budget. Especially if you don't have enough money to stack silver or gold or any of those things, and you just have no belief system in the 401ks or the Roth IRAs or things like that, or stocks and bonds and other various commodities. People like tangible investments, and bankrolls are one of them. Because again, that one bankroll that you got for 50 cents today, just push it aside and it'll be worth like $10 in 10 years. So yeah, that's another and final, probably most rational reason why people spend up for these things. So that's what I wanted to talk about today on this one. But before we go, I want to let you guys know that I saw on the platform Whatnot. It's the biggest social media live auction site today. And you are personally invited to join, because we got some big things coming up. Speaking of these 2025 coins, we, Blue Ridge Silverhound, and our staff is giving the opportunity to all of our viewers to win some of these coins. With once we do receive them, we're going to be getting proof sets and mint sets direct from the mint and various other things, and we're going to be pushing and promoting 2025 before we get to 2026, and get people really jazzed and excited about where this hobby is going to take us into the new year, and then into the next new year, where we're going to be celebrating a pretty big event in our country. So thank you guys for tuning in. Check Whatnot. I'll have my link down below in the description box. If you want to sign up today, guess what? We're giving you $15 off your first item that you bid on and win. That is exciting stuff. And it's a great way to kick off the new year, is with some freebies, right? We do giveaways every week. We have shows every Friday. So again, I personally invite you guys to come check that out. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Thank you guys again for all of your views and support. Let's make 2025 a year to remember. We're already a quarter of the way through this century, and I'm thinking to myself, hot damn, I am in disbelief that we are 25 years into this new millennia. All right. Well, you guys, see ya. I'll talk to you later. Have fun in this hobby. And look out for these 2025 coins. It's going to be something.